Las Vegas might be known for its nightlife, but it's also an incredible destination for families looking for a fun and adventurous weekend. In this video, I'm showing you how to plan the perfect family-friendly weekend in Las Vegas where you can explore larger-than-life attractions on the Strip, enjoy hands-on experiences and epic food, and then escape to the surrounding nature and visit Valley of Fire for an unforgettable outdoor adventure. Whether your family loves shows, museums, or hiking among slot canyons, this is the perfect itinerary for a weekend in Las Vegas. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let's jump in. We made it to Las Vegas. The weekend starts now. They're always running promotions from Southern California, so we figured it'd be fun to take a cheap flight over and then just explore for the weekend with the family. The kids had never been here before, and I knew that they would love the lights and craziness the city offers. After arriving from the airport, we made our way over to our hotel, the New York, which I figured would be a good central location for the trip. Plus, we spent a month last year in Brooklyn, and they were excited to relive some of the famous New York sites like the Brooklyn Bridge and, of course, the Statue of Liberty. We actually made it here before our room is ready, so we're gonna get some chocolate and then check in. We were only exploring for about 30 minutes before it led Jack to say this.
Las Vegas is the best city ever.
It's the little things in life. It's having a hand chair that you can climb that makes it the best city of all time.
I mean, we didn't even probably have to come that far to find something like that.
As someone who grew up in Southern California, I can say that I came to Las Vegas a lot as a kid as well. And of course, Las Vegas has a reputation for its nightlife, but there's so much to do to entertain kids during the day here. I will say I haven't been to Las Vegas in a while, and I was even shocked by how expensive it is now, so do know that going in. New York has Hershey's Chocolate World, which is home to a chocolate Statue of Liberty, so that was our first stop on our trip. We grabbed a few little things to try, and there's nothing like starting a trip with a sugar rush. And then while we were waiting, they told us that our hotel room was ready. We headed up to the 19th floor and then walked what seemed like a maze to find our hotel room. And here is our room. Double queens. A nice big old lounge area over here as well. It said the no view room, but that's a pretty cool view out towards the mountains. We went during a cheap time, and it was less than $100 a night for the room and the resort fee. Oh, I guess I gotta sleep on the floor then if you guys claim the beds. Both the beds and the couch passed the jump test, and then one of the highlights of the room was being able to look out the window and watch the roller coaster in action. From there, we headed out to walk the Strip up to the Bellagio, not knowing that it was going to be a very busy weekend. We picked the wrong weekend to come to Las Vegas. It's the marathon and it's chaos down here. They had all of Las Vegas Boulevard closed for the marathon and half marathon that was just about to start. Luckily, as we got away from the MGM area where it was starting, it wasn't too bad. From our hotel, it was about a 20-minute walk to the Bellagio, and then on the weekends, the fountains usually go off every 30 minutes from 12 to 7:30 p.m., and then every 15 minutes from 7 p.m. to midnight. The Bellagio Fountains are probably one of the most famous tourist attractions in the United States. They were opened in 1998 on an 8-acre lake right in front of the Bellagio Hotel, and there are over 1,200 fountains that can shoot water up to 450 feet in the air. There's speakers throughout the watching area, and each of the shows are choreographed to the music. Some of the most loved songs they play here are the Michael Jackson ones and Viva Las Vegas by Elvis Presley. They had an issue with the first show, so we actually got to see the show twice, and the second time the sun was shining perfectly and lighting up the water right in front of the hotel. Also, the fountain cost around $40 million to build, which is crazy for a free attraction, and it uses over 22 million gallons of water, which is recycled and treated, making it pretty eco-friendly for the desert of Las Vegas. Alright, what do we rate that?
A 10 and a 12.
Oh, a 10, a 10, and a 12? That's as good as it gets.
So it was fun to see 2 times with them and see their reactions. I remember coming as a kid, so it's really cool.
Now we're heading inside to see the conservatory. What are you picking up today? Prada, Gucci?
Maybe a bag. Maybe the bag that you take home. They'll sell me one of those. Lucky for you, that is not my thing.
Making your way through the hotel is definitely a maze, but follow the signs for the conservatory and be sure to stop in the lobby to see this famous art piece. This famous piece was created by Dale Chihuly, and I highly recommend that you visit his museum if you go to Seattle. The conservatory is right next to the lobby, and it's 14,000 square feet of stunning floral displays. Featuring hundreds of thousands of flowers, massive sculptures, and intricate designs, it's one of my favorite places to see in Las Vegas. We were there for the Chinese New Year's display, and I have to say the panda and the snake were both impressive. I asked one of the workers there how upkeep works, and they said that there's over 120 gardeners and designers who work on the team to manage the conservatory. They say if you come in the early morning, you may actually see the gardeners working on some of the displays. We were there right in the afternoon, so it was very busy with lots of people taking pictures and just soaking it all in. But like anything, if you come really early or really late, you'll probably have this place mostly to yourself. This is always one of my favorite things to do in Las Vegas, and they change it multiple times a year so you can come back and see something different. As we were leaving the Bellagio, the fountains were going off again, and it was pretty cool to be able to see them from this side as well, especially with the Eiffel Tower in the background. It was about 5:30 when we finished our time at the Bellagio, and this is where the run ended, so all the people were starting to congregate here. We decided to head back towards our hotel and then find a place to eat. This led us to the always popular Nacho Daddy, which is a love spot in Las Vegas for Mexican food, with nachos and margaritas being their mainstay. Our kids are obsessed with tacos right now, so we figured it'd be a good fit for the whole family.
We made it to dinner.
Barely made it.
Shout out to the restaurant for getting the kids' meal out really fast, and we started with a unique thing that they only do here.
All right, apparently this is what you do at Nacho Daddy. You take a shot with an actual scorpion in it.
That's a little one.
It's just a little one, it's not a big one? All right, it's only a little scorpion. I have no desire to do this, but you know, win in Vegas, apparently.
Just touch it.
Touch it? Oh, the scorpion. All right, bottoms up.
Oh gosh.
I got a little bit of scorpion in the back of my throat, I think. Win in Vegas.
Dude, that's gross.
That's something I need to do. No.
The funniest part is how everyone in the restaurant watched when it came out, and people even wanted to come over and take pictures of it before I did the shot. Overall though, I wouldn't do it again. After that, our food came out and Amy got the fajitas, which were lit on fire tableside, a huge hit for my kids.
Apparently Amy and I should have shared because this is a massive quantity of food.
This is definitely a touristy spot and it was pricey, but we had a lot of fun there and the food was really good.
Nothing like being a parent and taking a shot with a scorpion in it and then heading back to the hotel to go to bed at 6:30 p.m.
That is life goals, I think, for us right now.
That's how we do Vegas now. We'll see you tomorrow.
On the way back, we saw a guy who was doing balloon animals for tips, and this ended up being one of the highlights of the entire weekend for my kids. They got a flower and a dinosaur to take back with them. To start the morning, we headed down into the lobby and walked the replica streets of New York to find a coffee shop. Luckily, Greenwich Village Coffee Company was open this early and we were able to grab some cortados and breakfast sandwiches to start the day. The kids couldn't get over how cool it was to sit and eat breakfast looking out over the city streets of New York. We wanted to take a break from the city and explore some of the surrounding nature, but since we flew in, we needed a car to make that happen. That's where today's sponsor, Turo, made things easy.
Heading over to MGM to pick up a car and go on an adventure.
The great thing about Turo is that you can skip the rental car counter at hundreds of airports in the United States and coordinate directly with your host through the app.
And here is our car for our hiking adventure. The kids are so excited that it's a convertible. I'm excited too.
It was incredibly easy to coordinate a pickup location, and you could even have car seats installed, which was perfect for us. One of the best things about Turo is that you can choose from a selection of over 1,400 different makes and models depending on the city that you're in. And I've always wanted to cruise Las Vegas Boulevard in a convertible, so this was a bucket list item for me as well. We rented the car for a half day and it included 250 miles, which allowed us to get to Valley of Fire and back no problem. Plus, I was able to message the host directly through the app, which made me feel safe if there was any issues that arose.
Thanks to Turo for helping make this process quick and easy and for allowing us to get out and explore a different part of Las Vegas. If you want to check out Turo for yourself on your next trip, scan the QR code on the screen right here or click the link in the description. All right, let's go hiking.
Valley of Fire State Park is located about 50 miles north of Las Vegas. Here you'll find over 40,000 acres of vibrant red rock desert, and it's pretty easy to see where the name came from when you look at these rocks. We headed about 30 minutes into the furthest area that you can drive to go to our first hiking trail.
We're doing a White Dome group.
Here's all of the movies that were filmed here. A movie called The Professionals. The remains of the set can be seen on the trail. So right there you can actually see it when you come through the rocks. The White Domes Trail is the second most popular in the park, following the one that we're going to do later, and it's about a mile in length with 150 feet of elevation gain. Note that if you go when it's busy, the parking lot can be full if you don't go early. Just a note, we came here in the winter time and it is hot. Do not come here in the summertime unless you come really early. And here's the remains of the movie set along the trail. This is what the site used to look like when they filmed the movie here. But all that's here now is the remains of that wall right there. This is a great trail for anyone, and it is fun with young children as there's lots of rocks for them to climb on and it's not that long. The best part about this trail is that it heads in to a slot canyon before returning to the parking area.
Looks like we're on the moon.
And the moon, yeah. Wow. If you've never been in a slot canyon, this is a great one to start with. It's only about 1/10 of a mile long, and it gives you that slot canyon feel with steep walls on both sides. It never gets too narrow, and it's probably 3 to 4 feet at its most height, which is pretty big for a slot canyon. We went back and forth through it multiple times as there was no one else around us, and the kids just loved running through it. Get mama. That's an awesome slot canyon, and it's cool that it's only an hour away from Las Vegas as well. There's a slight uphill the entire way back to the car, but I definitely recommend doing it clockwise as the uphill in the beginning is much steeper and I wouldn't want to go up that direction. This is what makes this area so amazing, is just the contrast between the two different types of rock here. The rest of this hike is relatively uneventful, but there is one section that has a small arch which is cool to see, and you can even climb in it if you're interested. All right, we made it back. That was an awesome hike. We're gonna do one more hike. I think probably just me though. I don't think the rest of the family's gonna do that one. There's about a 7-minute drive to get to the trailhead for the next hike known as the Fire Wave. This trail is 1.25 miles to a unique rock formation, and it's obviously the most popular trail in the park as the parking lot was full and there was no one on the other trail. I've been here before and it wasn't too exciting, but I'm hoping that this time it looks a little bit better. Maybe I didn't go to the right spot the first time. If you want to see the actual famous wave trail in Arizona, click right here from when I did it last year. Check out all the colors on the rocks out there. It almost looks like a rainbow. Even without seeing the fire wave, that's cool. If you go when it's hot, note that this trail has no shade, and again, we went in the winter and my family still decided to stay in the car as they were pretty hot from the first hike with the direct sun. This is pretty easy though, downhill the way there and uphill the way back. There you have it, the fire wave. I think this is the coolest part of the formation right here. I will say that the rock formation here is pretty cool, but I think it's better in certain times of the day and not the direct light that I was seeing it in. That being said, I did enjoy this hike and I love seeing the different layers in the rock.
Pretty epic views. I don't know, what do you guys think?
I spent about 15 minutes walking around and exploring, and there was no one else there with me, which was pretty cool. Next time I'm definitely going to try coming at sunset to see what the formation looks like though.
Alright, we're going to do a couple more short stops in the park before heading back to Las Vegas.
There is so much to do in this massive park, and we are barely scratching the surface in this video. But since the kids were done exploring due to the heat, I decided to go to 2 more really short stops before we headed on.
Alright, for our last stop of the day, we made it to the park entrance on the other side, and we are going to see Elephant Rock, which is back there. Well, and by we, I mean me. Everybody else is tired.
The hike to Elephant Rock is less than a 1/4 mile round trip, and it takes you to the base of the rock and then allows you to walk up and see the elephant up close. This is one of those rare formations where it does actually look like what it says it looks like. I mean, this is literally an elephant rock.
That is amazing. I love seeing this formation, and I'm so glad it's still standing strong.
There's many signs talking about not climbing on the elephant, and please do not climb on it. We want to make sure that this formation stays for future generations to see.
We're saying goodbye to Valley of Fire State Park, and we're heading to get tacos.
I do want to say that if you're interested in petroglyphs, you should stop at Atlatl Rock, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct, on the way back. This is a super short hike that leads to an amazing viewpoint of some awesome petroglyphs high up on a rock face. They're some of the most well preserved I've ever seen, and I'm guessing that's because of how difficult they must have been to get up to before they put the stairs in. Leaving Valley of Fire State Park, we drove about 45 minutes back towards Las Vegas before we got to our lunch location.
We have made it to my favorite taco shop in Las Vegas.
In case you haven't heard me talk about this in countless other videos, Tacos El Gordo is my favorite taco spot I've ever been to. I literally dream about the adobada tacos here.
All right, you want lime on your quesadilla? Okay.
We worked hard for this.
Cheers. Never disappoints. So good. Before returning the car, we're heading to Container Park to let the kids play, get some coffee, and just hang out for a little bit.
Container Park is located near Fremont Street, which is the old part of Las Vegas, and it's a cool open-air shopping, dining, and entertainment hub. It even has a praying mantis on the outside that shoots fire during specific times at night. It's basically built entirely of repurposed shipping containers with most of the shops and dining spots inside of them. There's also a massive play area for kids right in the middle of the park, and it's cool because it's fully enclosed with a gate, and you can sit on the outside with a drink or food and just watch your kids play.
The slides aren't open, so we went walking around at the shops. We found cotton candy. I bought one and they gave me a second one for free. Best day ever.
While we were indulging in cotton candy and playing, Amy walked a couple blocks to Ferguson's downtown to go to one of our favorite coffee shops, Mothership.
Bourbon vanilla for you?
Don't worry, I gave them no sugar.
Oh, I'm assuming by the tone that they might have had something. What did you have?
Cotton candy.
Oh, you weren't supposed to tell, Sonny.
Cotton.
All right, it's about time to drop off our car, but the last thing we're gonna do is cruise down Las Vegas Boulevard one more time with the top down.
There's almost never a time when I choose to drive down Las Vegas Boulevard instead of taking the freeway, as it's significantly faster. But I have to say, with the ability to put the top down, it was just so fun to go down the boulevard, see all of the different sights along the way, and just enjoy soaking it in. I think this is something the kids will remember for a long time, and I wish I would have booked the car longer so I could have kept it until nighttime.
Parked it back in parking lot, took all the pictures I needed to. That was an awesome experience to be able to drive out there without having our own car. Now we're gonna explore more Las Vegas.
By the time we dropped off the car and everyone had relaxed, it was time for dinner.
We were gonna go somewhere cheap for dinner tonight, but then I walked by the Netflix restaurant, which just opened 2 days ago. It seemed like a kind of a fun place to go with family, so we're going there.
I'm sure you're just as confused as me as to why Netflix has a restaurant, but when you walk in it says watching is good and eating is better, so yeah. We figured this would be a fun spot to show you guys since it just opened a couple days ago and reservations were apparently difficult to get in the beginning. I have to say, it's a cool vibe when you walk in with all of the different memorabilia they have from popular Netflix shows all along the restaurant walls. After sitting down and looking over the menu, you'll see that a lot of the food items are also inspired by Netflix shows such as Squid Games and Stranger Things. And a fun addition is that they brought out movie theater popcorn for us while we were looking over the menu.
So Amy got some type of cotton candy bourbon drink, and I got one that has this cookie from the Squid Games in it. This is an experience right here. Across the table, cheers. It's pretty crazy to have one of these cookies. I've never actually tried one. It's like a peanut brittle cookie.
Right after that, our pizza came out, which was a hot honey pepperoni pizza, and you could actually call the number on the box for a fun Stranger Things Easter egg.
All right, so this is the Squid Games chicken nugget meal, and you're supposed to spin and figure out what sauce you dip it in. Uh-oh.
Spicy.
I was warned that the red might be hot. Let's see. That was spicy. Oh man, that one has ghost pepper in it. That's spicy. Fun meal though. Nothing says family friendly like the Squid Games, right?
All right, spin it, buddy. What'd you get?
Let it soften. What sauce? Oh, yellow.
Yellow sauce. Are you gonna try it?
That's spicy.
While the three of us spun the wheel and ate our chicken nuggets for the next 15 minutes, Amy got the steak frites and she was very happy with her choice.
This is what they deliver the check to you in, and I actually remember getting my Netflix envelopes in the mail back in the day.
We had a lot of fun at this restaurant, but it's pretty pricey, and I definitely recommend checking out the menu and looking at the prices to see if you want to go beforehand.
We had big plans of other things to do tonight, but we barely made it through dinner with everyone being so exhausted, so we're calling it an end for day 2, and we'll see you tomorrow to finish our time in Vegas. Starting our last morning in Vegas with a few stops before heading to the airport.
One of the spots Amy and I love going to in Las Vegas is Eataly, which is an Italian upscale food hall that's right next to the MGM and the New York. So we figured for our last morning in the city, we should go there for breakfast. The place you're probably going to find yourself in here is La Pasticceria. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation, but I tried. I did look it up online. There's always a line here, and it's probably good for them because this is one of those places where you're going to want to eat everything that you see in the display case. We kept it simple though, and we just got a couple breakfast sandwiches and breakfast pastries.
Where's my coffee?
And of course, they have amazing coffees here, especially if you like the stronger, smaller coffees like Amy and I. If you're not around this spot for breakfast though, it's still a cool spot to walk around for lunch or for dinner, and you can even just come in and get a drink and a snack as well. This is one of the things I love about Vegas is there's so much variety in the places you can eat.
Such a cool spot, amazing coffee and pastries, but man, Vegas is expensive. It's like $50 every time we go out.
Before heading down the strip to do another attraction, we had one more thing we had to do in this area that the kids had been begging to do the entire weekend.
To an abs up.
One of our last orders of business is the M&M Store. We've been talking about going here for 2 days, so everyone is so excited that we are 2 minutes early to the opening of the M&M Store. We are so excited.
I mean, I get it. How could there be anything more magical when you're a kid than the M&M Store? And we had the whole place to ourselves, as surprisingly, we were the only people waiting outside for it to open. The main thing to do here is to go up to the second floor and see the wall of flavors and colors and then design your own bag of M&Ms. Of course, they all taste the same outside of the different flavors, but when you're a kid, having the right color M&Ms is super important.
One of the coolest parts is that they have all these different flavors I've never seen before. Peanut butter and jelly. They have Easter Sundae. They have strawberries and cream, toasted holiday peanut. They let you try some of the new flavors if you're interested before you buy them as well.
There's lots of other things you can do here as well, such as you can even design your own M&Ms and put your own pictures on them, which could be cool, but we just stuck with picking our own colors.
We're heading to our last major stop of this trip, and one thing I didn't realize last night is that there's actually a monorail at the MGM that will take you to a lot of places on this trip, so if you don't have a car like us, definitely check that out, and I would use it next time.
For our last major stop of the trip, we walked over to Shark Reef Aquarium at the Mandalay Bay. This place has been here for years, but it's not one that I've ever been to, and luckily the kids were still free, so that was cool.
I don't know if I've ever seen a Komodo dragon, and there's one right there.
They had some rare stuff here that I'd never seen before, like the devil's hole pupfish and the Komodo dragon right at the beginning. And they even had piranhas right there as well.
They said this only takes 20 to 30 minutes to see the entire thing, and it was $29 for adults, but kids were actually free 4 and under, which is nice. We'll see how it ends up being. It's definitely expensive, but we've seen some cool stuff already.
A few of the highlights are that there are over 2,000 sea creatures here. There's 1.3 million gallons of water in the aquarium. There's a 360-degree walk-through tunnel which shows sharks all around you. And there's a touch tank for rays, but they weren't very interested in us when we were there. Honestly, my favorite thing was probably the clownfish. It was cool to see these unique fish up close, and they were very active when we were there. There was also an octopus they were feeding, and I've never seen an octopus being fed before. So that was certainly unique as well. The last major thing you'll get to is a shipwreck exhibit where it feels like you're inside of a sunken ship. What's cool about it is that you can see sharks and other things above you and below you, while also outside of the side of the ship as well. It's a really unique and well put together exhibit, and we spent a good amount of time here just watching all the sharks go around. The other cool thing is that there was a scuba diver in the tank, and he was picking things up and showing them to the kids. Overall, a very fun end to our time at the aquarium.
That was definitely as short as they said it was going to be, but there was a lot of cool stuff to see in there, so I'm on the fence about the cost. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we have one more thing left before this video's over.
Our last stop of the day was just to walk across the street to the Welcome to Las Vegas sign for our final pictures to culminate our time in the city.
And just like that, our weekend in Vegas is over. We are heading to the airport. That was a lot of fun though.
Bye, Kimwa. Bye, Kimwa.
See you on the next one.